What's packing, everybody? Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Godchild, first of his name, and this is the What's Packing podcast sports show extravaganza. And today we're gonna be talking about the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 W's to the Green Bay Packers loss against the New York Jets last week. I know the video's a little bit late, but I got a lot of things going on, and I'm trying my best, so bear with me as I get back into the routine of doing this show 4 or 5 times a week, man. It's not easy. All right, but enough about that. I want to talk about you guys real quick. Please, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and leave a comment below. That engagement is going to do wonders for me, and it's important for me, and I really appreciate it. So thank you very much. Now, on to today's topic. As always, I like to do the 5 W's: who, what, when, where, and why the Green Bay Packers win or lost, and they lost. So let's just unpack this thing, man. First W is who. Who stood out? And I'm going to just keep it straight up. To me, the person who stood out on offense was Kylan Hill, and I feel like he earned himself a roster spot last week. He had a touchdown, and he just looked productive. He looked comfortable. He looked shifty. He looked like the perfect third person for this three-headed monster that I think is starting to come together to assemble for the Green Bay Packers. And if you look at what the San Francisco 49ers did, it's very similar to this with this third, these three running backs. Okay, so I feel like LaFleur is really tailoring his system closely to what Kyle Shanahan does, but there's a little bit of a twist, and that could just be while Rodgers is the quarterback. We don't know. We'll find out once Rodgers is gone, and we have to appoint a new quarterback. But until then, it's very, very similar if you ask me. So Kylan Hill stood out, and I think he earned himself a roster spot. The second person that stood out to me, and this is his second time in a row being on the Who, and that's Daryl Slayton, to be more specific. And the dude, he had a sack. He pushes the pocket. Well, sometimes he pushes. Sometimes he doesn't always push the pocket, but there's a lot of times when he's taking on double teams and he's not getting pushed out of the way, or he's able to sort of use that use leverage to slip the defender that's kind of like pushing them and then get back into the play. I just like his activity, and the fact that he's been doing this not with the other starting guys, not next to Kenny Clark, not next to Kiki. I think that he's going to have an opportunity. Well, I think he's going to definitely make the team because he's really active. And there's another dude, Heflin, I think could make the team. All right, the next W is what stood out to me. The thing that stood out to me this time was just a lot of turnovers, and I feel like I still want to see more from the backups. So the depth on this team in some areas, like offensive line, when you have just one guy plugging in, it can still work, or two guys plugging in, it can still work, man. Or even at, receiver, there's depth, but, and I guess that was another thing that stood out to me, like the depth at quarterback too. Since I'm talking about depth, those were the two things that stood out to me. The concern for depth on defense, but on offense, I feel like the Packers got a really good quarterback situation, one of the best quarterback situations they've had in a while, and I could really see them keeping 3 quarterbacks because, Kurt. I wasn't really big on him, but after watching him play, the dude's balling out. I still think I would take Jordan Love over him, but I could see them really keeping all 3 of these dudes, to be honest with you. When was the turning point of the game? I don't know to say. It was a fumble at halftime, even though there was a couple of turning points, and this was a hard one, but you can't fumble, right out of half. That kills all the momentum, and to me, that really was a game changer. Where would I rate this performance on a scale of 1 to 10? I'd probably give it a 5.6. They actually scored some points this week, but it wasn't really clean, and I don't really know how good the Jets are or what they were doing, but and they still lost, like I said. So 5.6, man. 5.6. Overall, why I think they lost this game is because they just need more depth. They need more experience, and they need those depth guys to develop a little bit more. And it's the preseason, man. I don't think the Packers, after coming off back-to-back NFC Championship losses, are really trying to prove anything to anybody in the preseason. They really probably only trying to evaluate a couple of positions, and everything else is pretty much set in stone. So that's my take on the last week's game, the 5 W's, who, what, when, where, and why the Green Bay Packers lost to the New York Jets. And I'll say this, one of my other takeaways is Zach Wilson and Corey Davis might be special this year. A little bit of fantasy football inside tips for y'all. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about these 5 W's. Who stood out to you? What were some of your takeaways? What do you think the turning point of the game was? And how would you rate their performance in a loss to the Jets? All right, man, until the next time, you know what it is. Go Pack, go, and remember, the Bears still suck.